Well, good morning and welcome to a lovely frozen winter January beach. I actually haven't done a beach clean video in quite a long time now for reasons that I'll explain at the end of the video, but I just want to get down to getting the dirty, trashy stuff. So let's take a hike up this beach. It's quite a long stretch here. Maybe go for like an hour, see what we can find. I actually found this big oil pail last week when I was beach cleaning, but of course I forgot it at home. However, in my beach cleaning experience, unfortunately, there's no shortage of vessels that you can find along the way, bags, other buckets, that sort of thing. So I didn't even check. I don't know if I have a bag, like a trash bag in my backpack, but I've been trying to use more reusable vessels anyways, like paper bags, buckets, that sort of thing. So let's take a hike, see if we can find something to put trash in. And I've already seen a few bits of trash. So even on a cold, frozen January morning and then afternoon, it's gonna be trashy out here. So get your pickers and see what we find. Of course, no beach clean would be complete without tennis balls. And if you go back, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 videos ago, you'll see my 1,000 tennis ball beach clean challenge, and they're here again. So let's pick these up as we find them. Here's an old Tupperware, which in a pinch you can use to collect beach trash in, but I'd like something a little bigger, like a bucket or plastic bags even, because you got to get rid of those anyway. So let's start with this, but see if we can find something a little bit more substantial to put our trash in as we walk along. Sometimes I'll actually do that where I will start with a small basket. Oh, what's that over there? Is that a garbage can? Let's go investigate. Oh yeah, if you can see through the brush there, there's a big old plastic garbage can. I might have to come back for that at some point. I'm looking for something not quite that big. Go figure. I asked and that's what I got. What have we here? Oh. So balloon could actually be used, if you open it up, as a trash bag. Well, it's not a very good trash bag, mind you, but better than wasting another plastic bag. It's getting the job done for now. Looks like a full balloon. Still got some air in it. All right, time to go pop. Tough one. Trash now, baby. See, it's just plastic garbage nonsense, really. What's this? What's this here? Baby Croc shoe. Nothing ominous about that. This is kind of cool here too. Those are shells of former horseshoe crabs, and they'll be back come spring in massive numbers. But yeah, you find those shells littered all up and down the beach. It's like a horseshoe crab graveyard, which now that I put it that way, I should probably keep moving. And there goes my bag, right as I cursed myself with the horseshoe crab graveyard comment. All right, I gotta find another bag. Let's take a look around. Aha! I think we got a winner. Oh, not bad. This could actually work. All right, well, hopefully you can hear me with the waves behind me. Yeah, so very interesting experience today. I haven't been out to this beach in a while. It's not far from my house actually, but Unfortunately, as I always say, there's plenty of beaches and plenty of trash pretty much wherever you look, just different types and different amounts. But yeah, found quite a bit, as you can see here, and this bucket wound up coming through pretty well. Again, I started with this balloon, didn't work out so well. There's that trash bin down there that, as I said earlier, I'm gonna drag out, and I guess could encourage people to leave trash there as they see it, which actually isn't a bad thing. If people want to leave trash there, I can always come down and pick it up. But anyways, I wanted to just very briefly sort of rapid fire show the 10 most interesting things I found today. It was about an hour hike up this beach, a few miles, and talk a little bit about where that's coming from, how it connects to some of the other trash I've found over time, and then just wrap up with a very brief explanation as to where I've been, because it's been several months now since I've done a video, but for good reasons, and I'm glad to be back. I have been beach cleaning, just not necessarily having the time to put together all these videos, but I'll explain that in a moment. Anyways, so the 10 weirdest things I found, or most interesting things perhaps. Water bottles. I think this is something that I find all the time, and unfortunately, as you can see, this is pretty dirty. Over time, you can't really recycle these if they're too mangled up and trashed. So when you see them fresh, especially if you're cleaning along roadsides and that sort of thing, super important to pick up and try to recycle when you can. Because a lot of those start as street side litter and run off down to the ocean. The ocean is the lowest point, right, in the world, I guess, unless there's Death Valley or something like that. I don't know. There's some places maybe at slightly lower altitudes, but in general, stuff goes downhill into the ocean. Of course, I found no shortage of tennis balls, like I mentioned too. If you go back and you watch my Wilson tennis ball partnership beach clean videos, where I worked with their recycling program to recycle a ton of tennis balls, I think over 1,000. Yeah, we did hit 1,000. But you see here how they start as regular tennis balls, and then they devolve these sort of plasticky, rubbery cores, and the actual felt on them, as well as a synthetic fiber. I forget what type. I remember talking with Wilson and their recycling partners. They use all of the tennis balls. They use these parts for horse tracks, I think, and the rubber parts I think they use to remake tennis courts. But yeah, so plenty of tennis balls. Like I said, there's no shortage of people bringing their dogs. There's no shortage of tennis courts along these nice cliffs. So it makes sense. People drop a ball, they don't go down to pick it up, unfortunately. Balloons, pretty common, but very rarely do I find unpopped balloons. So that was interesting to see. And as you see, it just becomes more nonsense plastic ultimately. Candy wrappers, probably left over from the summer. Summer litter is quite ubiquitous around here, but yeah, there's stuff from year round. I mean, I find stuff that pretty clearly are summer things, like my next item, such as this weird kids croc shoe, and then other stuff that again might just be a case of runoff over time. But yeah, this was probably left here over the summer by a kid. I don't know who that is, but yeah, I can't tell. I can't really read. But anyways, this is entirely plastic. This is like, I don't know, a quarter pound of plastic maybe. That's just going to break down into microplastics over time. So that's no good. What else did I find? Packaging foam, which as you can see here is sort of getting in the weeds, literally, or the weeds are getting into it. So this is good to pick up because, I mean, you can even see that it breaks up over time into more microplastics, which is quite unfortunate as well. How many is that? Is that 5 items, 6 items? I'll show you a few more. Shotgun shells. I did a video last summer, I think, where I collected, I don't know, a ton of these, maybe 50 or 60 of these in one beach clean. But yeah, you find plenty of these around, and they're mostly plastic as well. Some metal, but mostly plastic. Pink tennis ball. I haven't found one of these, or maybe I have, but it's quite rare. So that's probably a kid's tennis ball, or maybe a dog ball or something like that. What else? I'm getting really good at identifying random plastic. I knew from a mile away that this was an orange juice cap, and it says right on it. But yeah, that's good to get. Lids for Tupperwares, cutlery, got a spoon here. Slim Jim, plastic. And finally, an eggshell top, which I've actually found these before, but it's always strange when I see stuff like this. I mean, Easter's not for a few months, so I actually will see more of these around Easter time. A lot of trash like that is kind of seasonal, where probably a few weeks after Easter, I'll see these because kids either maybe were playing with them on the beach, or more likely they use them for Easter egg hunts. Garbage cans got tipped over, and that inevitably wound up becoming ocean runoff, or street side runoff into the ocean rather. And yeah, this stuff will stick around for a while before it breaks down. So yeah, you do see that sometimes, because as I always say, it only takes 1 out of 100 garbage cans tipping over for that stuff to start to add up in the ocean over time. It's sort of like 4th of July too, with fireworks. Those you notice much more quickly because people are actually lighting them on the beach. But yeah, you do find seasonal stuff sometimes. So I bet you, if I do a beach clean video in another few months around Easter, I'll see an influx of these. I could maybe even do an Easter egg hunt video. That would be pretty wild, pretty interesting. So yeah, certainly an odd diversity of items, including this shovel that I found, which, you know, the ground is pretty hard right now because it's winter and it's a little bit above freezing, but it's been a lot below freezing lately. So you can't really dig for beach trash, which I've done before and I will do in the future, because you never know what trash treasures you find that way. But plastic shovel head, wood handle, nice wood handle, a little worn but solid, a shaft rather, and plastic handle. So I'm actually going to wash this and hold on to it, because when I do my digging for beach trash videos, I have a heavy metal headed shovel, but this could be good in sort of a pinch to get into tight spaces. So as I say, you never know what you're going to find. I was hoping to find a bigger bag. I did get the balloon that ripped in terms of using it to store trash, but hey, I got a free shovel out of it, so I will take that. Thank you, beach trash gods, or beach clean gods. I don't know which gods they are, but anyways. So yeah, definitely a pretty typical diversity of items for a cold winter's day. There's not a lot of people out here that I can see, but the trash continues to add up. I always say that winter is actually a really great beach clean season, because if it's not below freezing, and even if it is, as long as it's not too windy, you heat up pretty quickly in a coat, if you have gloves, scarf, walking up and down the beach. So don't let the cold weather necessarily deter you. Always check the wind. I always say, as a general rule, if it's single digit miles per hour for the wind, then you should be pretty good. Usually it does depend which direction it's blowing in, but typically I run into trouble when I am beach cleaning and it starts to get into 15 mile per hour winds, 20 miles per hour, forget it. That's a nightmare, especially if it's cold. So I only come out these times to do videos when it's sort of optimal like this, because you can't really record, which brings me to, again, just my final recap points I wanted to mention. So yeah, I have done beach clean videos since my summer road trip where I cleaned across the country. I did several videos, mostly river cleanups. I did one in Indianapolis. We did one in Denver, I think, or Spokane, Washington. We did one in on the Pacific coast as well, the Pacific Ocean in Washington State. So those were great. Those were really interesting. If you want to see some interesting travel cleanups, definitely go back a few videos and watch those. But yeah, when I came back from that trip, a few things happened. The first of which was my microphone broke, and I actually recorded another beach clean video, but the audio quality was so shot and I couldn't figure out how to edit it, that I had to actually scrap the video. And I tried to record another video with a different mic, and that also was broken. So I had two strikes there in terms of recording videos. And again, there were just a lot of other factors this past fall. There was a lot more work with just current situations. I obviously am a professor. There just seemed to be a lot more job duties and responsibilities. So I was kind of tied up more at school with a lot of that, it felt like. And I actually had a knee injury from my summer beach cleaning adventures. I made the mistake of doing I think an almost 10-mile hike at around 14,000 feet elevation, or maybe it started at 12,000 feet and went up to like 14 and change. Absolutely beautiful hike in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, but I probably should have warmed up first before that. It was kind of the first big hike I did on the trip, And lo and behold, I really did something damaging to my knees, and that sort of hampered a lot of my more epic beach clean adventures for this past fall. I did do some local ones, and obviously I continue to just go out when I can on a weekly basis, but I just wasn't in the shape to do more adventurous hiking stuff for quite some time. In fact, the doctor told me that I probably wouldn't feel back to normal till January, and this was back in September. And lo and behold, once more, he was correct. And I finally feel not just back to normal, but really good, which is awesome. I'm very glad for it. I didn't need surgery or anything more serious. So hopefully back in business. I've learned my lesson about preparing better for epic mountain hikes moving forward. And we're going to take it from there. So I know there's some new subscribers. Welcome. I had an article in Newsday recently, a big local newspaper, about a lot of this beach cleaning work that I do. So thank you guys for joining us on a beach clean adventure, and there's many more to come as always. Thankfully and unfortunately in its own way. Eventually I would like to just do hikes and collect shells, which is what I originally did as a kid, but until then we're going to pick up trash, and we've been doing that, and we're going to continue doing that. So to those of you who are wondering where I've been, that's the whole story. I know some people who subscribe to the videos were commenting and asking, and if you are new here, welcome. Thanks for coming. And yeah, like I say, we're going to have a lot more adventures to come. So I guess that's everything. Yeah, back in business. It feels good to be out here recording again. It's been too long, honestly, but I'm hoping to get a new mic. It's almost impossible to record, like I said, if it's any amount of windy. It's probably hard to hear me even with these waves, I know, so I apologize for any lacking audio quality, but yeah, many more adventures to come. So yeah, thanks again. Stay safe out there, clean well, and until next time, enjoy the not so cold weather. It's going to snow, I think, this weekend, so it might be a little bit longer until the next video, but hope to see you at the beach sometime soon.